Scarecrow prototype in the Batcave? Hey guys, welcome back once again to Brotherhood of the Bat Collectibles, your one stop for all things high-end statue collecting reviews, unboxing, statue chats, live content like Rogues Gallery Live, and so much more. My name is Chris, and I'm the Batman statue collector, and look at what we have today, guys. This is the incredible prototype. I do want to say that right off the bat. This is the prototype of the Samurai Scarecrow quarter scale piece from our friends over at XM. I want to give XM a major shout out. Thank you so very much for sending me this to check out on the channel. And from what I hear, as soon as I'm done with this piece, it's going straight to New York Comic Con. So that's really exciting as well. So anyway, I am just thrilled beyond compare that this thing is in the Batcave. Now I've been lucky to have the Joker here. I've been lucky to have the Penguin here, and a few other ones as well. And so to see this one in person is just a thrill of a lifetime. Now this is sculpted by friend of the channel. His name is Almakar Fong. Absolutely incredible artist. He has done a lot of work for Sideshow and XM and other companies like Tweeterhead. Just really impressive with what he's done with these characters and with these sculpts. You can definitely see a horror influence for sure, a lot of scary type characters. And this piece, I have to tell you right off the bat, I'm going to be honest with you. When I first saw this, I was a little bit underwhelmed because of the colors. The more I saw it, you know, people were kind of like, I don't really know if this one fits in as well with the Samurai line. Then they kind of tweaked the colors. We talked about it here on the channel where originally it was a little bit more green. Now it's more brown. To be honest, I still like the green color scheme just a little bit more. But I will say this, seeing this in person, I'm blown away. It looks a million times better in person than it does here on camera, than the photographs that I've taken. It is really, really impressive. The colors are so much better in person than they are reflected anywhere else, and that is just my honest opinion, guys. This piece, again, I know is not for everyone. Maybe you like other pieces better in the Samurai line, but to do this character justice, I really think this was sculpted very, very well. I want to give you kind of a 360 spin here right off the bat so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. This piece has a great small footprint compared to some of the other ones, especially like the Penguin. The Penguin was massive. This is really beautifully done. I really like the base. Again, I'm going to show you all of the details. We have two different head swap outs on this one, some hand swap outs as well, including, you know, of course, this very scary portrait, which I'm going to show you here in just a second in really close detail. I do want to warn you right off the bat that I didn't have a art box. This is a prototype. XM sends out their prototype in styrofoam that's not necessarily measured, it's just cut out. What you are actually going to be getting is going to be better than this one, I guarantee it. It's going to have custom fit styrofoam, so there were some pieces that had some breakage in shipping, and so I have glued some of the pieces back together. So I did want to just warn you up front, but honestly, you really can't tell. I spent some time making sure this looked perfect for you guys, and I cannot wait to share all of the incredible details with you. But before we do that, if you are new here, please make sure you hit that red subscribe button down below. Also hit the like button, please. That really does help the channel. We're trying to get to 30K, and videos like this and your thumbs up helps the YouTube algorithm and helps us grow. So I can't thank you guys enough for that. And again, just my initial impression as I look at this thing, it is still, again, so much better in person. I just wish it would translate as well on camera as it does in person. I know sometimes on camera, like this color scheme might get washed out a little bit, but the detail, the paintwork here, again, Almakar Fong, tremendous sculpt. It is just, it blows my mind. It's so cool. Okay, so with that said, Let's go ahead and get into the full review, and let's do that right now. Alright guys, so here we go, and here's the big reveal. Here is the Scarecrow from XM Studios. A really impressive piece, and I cannot stress this enough, that this piece looks so much better in person than it does in any photograph. I'm just really impressed. So I want to give you all the details about this piece. As always, we will start with the base, and this base is really impressive. Obviously, this like bat dragon or whatever this is, I apologize, I'm not exactly sure from the culture, but it is really incredible. The greens on this piece, and I was critical about some of the color choices and changes. I have to say, in person, these colors look really quite nice. So much detail, as you can see. Obviously the top here, you can see the level of detail looks really great. Obviously there's some brickwork, there's some centipedes on the bottom. Obviously you have the actual, you know, whatever this is, if this is some sort of ancient bat or whatever, you can see the skulls. He's gripping the wood pieces, which looks really cool. He actually has the Batman gauntlet, which is really cool right there. You also notice in the fabric, again, it's all fully sculpted, but it looks like fabric, and you can see the texture, you can see the details, kind of in the, I guess you could call it the shoulder blade area, or you know, the shoulder. It just looks really great, really great texture. You see the rings in his ears. That looks cool. Let me go ahead and spin it around a little bit more for you guys. So again, you can see just so much detail. You can see the little bat emblem there, which is cool. And the wood looks really good in person. It's really well done. You got some bricks down there at the bottom, which is cool. Obviously the green fear toxin smoke as well. But as we go around, you can see it just carries throughout the base, and it all looks very good. You have some nice weathering there. Pieces chipped away from the wood, and then of course you also have the other hand up here gripping, and you can see it has the pearls, which is I believe a nod to Martha, which is really cool. So again, his fears, it's Batman's fears coming to life right here, even in you know, olden times here in the samurai era. So really cool. I want to point out that there are some differences in greens. You have kind of a darker green here with some darker green shadows, and then there are some areas where it's a little bit whiter in color. It's still green, but it is just a little bit lighter, and it does appear lighter here on camera. But I just love that face. Like, that's so cool, right? Alright, so let's go ahead and move up to Scarecrow himself, and let's check out some of these details here. Obviously you have really great sculpted foot, and this all is sculpted. Like, it's really just impressive the way that they did it. So that is that foot, and then there's also the back foot. This one is taped, you know, like he's got it wrapped in some bandages. Again, all fully sculpted, and it looks really nice. But the skin texture and tones look really nice there as well. And of course, there's just so much detail as you go up the statue. You know, there's little pieces of, you know, kind of patched together armor, which looks cool. Oh, here's another piece of that smoke. It's that whiter color, as you can see right there. So that looks good. Then you also notice some ripped clothing. Just again, really impressive texturing throughout. Let me show you this one over here. And again, just that detail up the leg. You know, tied bandages, kind of whatever he has put together to protect himself. Obviously you have these little knee, you know, shin guard and knee protector, whatever you want to call it. It looks like wicker, which is cool. And then of course you have, again, more and more texture. I do want to remind you guys again that this is a prototype. So there were areas where I had to kind of glue back together. When they ship prototypes, it's not the final foam, the styrofoam. All that styrofoam is custom fit for the statue, but in the prototypes they're not. So we tend to have some breakage, and we kind of pass it between ourselves and other collectors to review. And I want to again thank XM for allowing me to review this really early, which is awesome. Look at the pumpkins. It's just so cool. Again, all those little details throughout. And again, you have some greens, you have some browns, some nice texture. You have this mask that's hanging off of him, which looks really cool. he's got all these like little things, and I don't know what all of them are, but they look really great. And then obviously he has some sort of kind of like, not a skirt, but a wrap, and it's torn and tattered at the bottom. And it looks good. Paint looks good here. I'm really impressed. Obviously some other elements of smoke here coming off. We'll get to that here in just a second. But again, just kind of a 360 spin here. It looks really great overall. I do want to show you this amazing skull. I love this. This is my favorite of the swap outs. He also has another hand. But you can see he's holding the skull. It's got that same green fear toxin smoke coming out of it. So even when you move it, it has a little bit of movement, which is cool. Obviously, you know, tremendous amount of detail on the hand. And again, he has that same wrapping to kind of protect himself. Just really well done. There's so much detail here. The necklace is, you know, you attach the necklace. It's just like a real necklace. But then it looks like, you know, all these strings and strands. That's all sculpted, guys. That's all sculpted. And it's just really well done. I did want to show you, this is one of the swap outs here with the sickle. He does have kind of a eerie looking hand. Let me kind of show you that here real quick against the table. Kind of an eerie hand there. Looks really great. And then obviously he has a hand, which I'll show you here with the swap out. But I like that hand too, because it's got like his finger wrapped and bandaged, but really cool, right? It just looks awesome. Okay, so let me get back to some of the details. So he has, of course, the fear pack, and this is where it comes out of. Like, so it's, I don't know if it's like a demon skull or a bat. You can see it spewing out. And then, of course, let me kind of show you the back side here. So it's really ornate. And that looks really great, but it goes from the tube down around to these different tubes, and the tubes look really, really good. Lots of detail, are kind of like these, I guess you can call them like old drums maybe, full of the fear toxin. So it's kind of a modern twist. I don't know if they would have tubes like this back then, but I mean, it's really cool. Lots of great detail there. I'm really impressed overall with that. And again, the color's nice. You know, it's kind of very similar to the Bane back there that you see. You know, it's got that same kind of tubing. There are some bubbles in it. So if you know, not a lot of bubbles, but gives you kind of an idea. I mean, and again, just look at the detail there. And then underneath, again, it's just kind of like a drum. But I just think that looks really cool. All right, let me kind of zoom back so you can see as I spin him around just some of the detail here. And let's look at this face portrait here. This is the more, I mean, it's definitely samurai. I mean, you got this very samurai looking helmet, but this is the more scarecrow of the faces, I think, because it's got that torn and tattered mask. And it even has like the, you know, the extra fabric down the, and again, that's all fully sculpted. But you notice there's some browns and some greens. I think this is really cool. Almacar Fong, again, just really tremendous here what he did with this piece. And again, it's just so much more impressive in person than it is in photos. This is definitely worthy of adding it to your collection. I know there's some people out there that have hesitated on this one because, you know, maybe they just don't like it as much as some of the other samurai pieces, but this one fits in. Maybe not everybody's going to know this is Scarecrow, but if you say, which Batman villain is this? They're going to say Scarecrow. There's just no doubt. I mean, especially with this face, especially with that face. Of course, I am going to show you the other face on the body, but I just thought I would kind of show you here, kind of just so you can kind of see what it looks like. I think if I hold it against this white table, that might be better. But again, very terrifying looking. But whenever I put it on the body, it'll look better because the lighting will be better. But it just kind of gives you an idea of how scary that head sculpt is. You know, it's just really quite scary. But anyway, let me go ahead and give you another pan from the bottom all the way up to the top before we get going here. I don't really see anything wrong with this piece at all. You know, I just think it looks really great. I still would have maybe liked some different color choices. Overall, I still kind of like what they did originally, where they had a little bit more green instead of so much brown. But in person, again, I'm going to say this again, in person, it just looks really fantastic. It definitely is worthy of adding it to the Samurai line. A lot of presence. It's not as big as some of the other bases, like that penguin base I had. I mean, that was probably 2 or 3 times bigger than this one. So again, this is, I mean, it's still big. I mean, don't get me wrong. But it definitely has a little bit of a smaller footprint for sure, compared to some of those other really, really big pieces. So again, I apologize for the squeak there, but again, really cool. And now I think I'll swap it out so you can see exactly what you're going to be getting with that second portrait. Alright guys, so this is the Swapout Portrait, and just look how terrifying this thing is. It is absolutely fantastically sculpted, but man, it is scary. I'm not sure exactly which portrait I like the best. I probably like the other portrait a little bit better. I've also swapped this out for the other hand. So the other one, of course, was holding those skulls, whereas this one is kind of those creepy fingers. You can really see the detail on the hands, all shriveled up. You see the veins, really nicely done. And then of course, you know, you still have that, you know, that necklace around, so you can change that if you wish. And then of course, you can swap this out for this little sickle here as well. And again, that hand is really well sculpted. Again, you can see the veins. So it is a really cool look no matter which way you go. Again, it just all has a nice flow. And again, I just really want to stress that this thing looks just so much better in person than in photos. Do not judge this one from photos, guys. This is really well done. The colors are really nice. Of course, you know, the camera or even just your phone camera can change the color, you know, with the filters and everything, but hopefully you guys get a sense of what it looks like here. I feel like on this lens, it looks pretty true to color. So if you kind of want to just, again, know what you're getting, I feel like this video is going to give you a pretty good sense of what this is going to look like. So again, this is that secondary portrait. You do get both and all the different swap outs, but I mean, just come on. That is a face only a mother could love, that's for sure. Again, very, I don't know if you would say this is more Samurai or more Scarecrow. Again, it's kind of subjective, but it does look really, really cool. I mean, just look at that. It is absolutely terrifying. Man, they sculpted this one really, really well. Alright guys, I'm going to put it back to you. What do you think of this Scarecrow after seeing it here on the Batman Statue Collector channel? Again, I think it is a big hit. I think it is definitely worthy of adding it to your Samurai collection. You know, I'm somebody that wants all the villains, and I know a lot of you are as well, so don't hesitate on this piece. I really think it is fantastic, and I'm sad that I have to send it back away because it really is cool. It'd be really nice to have in the Batcave for a while, just to appreciate the really beautiful art here. And again, I know this piece might not be everybody's cup of tea because, you know, sometimes some of these characters in the Samurai line, they're a bit of a stretch because they're just so non-traditional. But that's what makes this line so unique, is that it's just a piece of beautiful art that reflects the comics that we love in a different way. And so, you know, you might have a Scarecrow in your collection, but you definitely don't have a Scarecrow that looks like this in your collection. And so, me personally, I recommend it. I think you're going to be really happy with it. And I just think, again, I think the art speaks for itself. I think it's really, really beautiful. Again, let me just give you a real quick 360 spin. And so you can kind of see exactly what you're getting. Again, lots of great detail. Definitely a different color scheme than anything I've seen in the rest of the line. So it's definitely going to stand out in that way, a different pop of color with the browns and the greens. Again, my only big nitpick, I think, is nothing's wrong with the sculpt, but I still feel like I would have preferred maybe that original paint scheme. But so many people complained about it, they changed it. So I might be in the minority there, but I just really liked it. But again, I think this is still very, very beautiful, and it would just look phenomenal in your collection. But again, I do want to know what you guys think. Let me know in the comments down below. Again, thank you so very much to XM for sending me this prototype. and now it's going to go on to become a famous statue at a famous event here. At least fingers crossed that all happens in time. But anyway, thanks to XM so very much for trusting the statue in my hands. That means the world to me, and letting me share this statue with all of you out there in the Batverse. Thank you guys very much. And again, please let me know what you think of it down below. As always, guys, thank you so very much for checking out the video today. If you are new here, please make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit that like button, click that notification bell. Make sure you choose all. That way you get all the notifications and you don't miss any of our videos. Again, thank you guys so very much for watching. One other thing, if you want to take it one step further, hit that join button down below for early access to our videos. Please make sure you join us on Facebook, Brotherhood of the Bat Collectibles, and also on Instagram at Batman Statue Collector. We would love to have you there. Thank you so very much. Thanks again to XM. I'll see you guys next time right here in the Bat Cave. Hey guys, thank you so very much for watching today. And if you're new here, please hit the subscribe button right here on the screen and check out these two awesome videos. I think you're going to love them. And also please join us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. I would love to have you join in all the fun. Thank you guys so very much for watching. See you in the Bat Cave.